Hi guys, welcome to our daily encounter. Today we read about the Israelites embarking on this journey that they're going on to go to the promised land. And we're going to find that this is a very long journey. And they're going to experience a variety of different experiences as they take this journey. And as we embark on this journey with them, we ought to relate what we see them go through with our own lives. As we see them struggle with faith, as we see them struggle with the hardships of life, as we see them going through the troubles of their journey, we can relate to a lot of what they experience. Even though we might not experience exactly what they're going through, we do experience things similar to what they go through. And even in our reading yesterday and today, we already see this beginning to take shape. Yesterday we read about the great deliverance that God gave to his people. He opened up the Red Sea. They passed through the Red Sea on dry ground. And then he destroyed the Egyptian army and gave them a great deliverance. And there was this experience of joy and worship and praise and just exaltation yesterday in our reading. But then today our reading starts with bitter waters. They go to Marah and the water is bitter. And the Lord helps him, of course, and they throw this stick into the waters and the waters become sweet. But then they go to this place called Elim, where there's 12 springs of water and 7 date palms. And they camp there beside the water. It's just a pleasant, serene experience where they have a full supply of water. They have these date palm trees there. Just a wonderful experience. And then we get into chapter 16, and they're in the wilderness of sin where there's no food, and they become hungry and they begin to crave the things that they had in Egypt. And we see that the Lord, even in that need, supplies what they need and gives them the meat and gives them also the manna. And as we think about this, that's very similar to our experience. One day we're just rejoicing in the deliverance that God's given us. Maybe we could think back when we first came to believe in Jesus and we entered into a relationship with God, and there was just this praise and exaltation and joy in our hearts. But then we had to go out and live that in the real world. And we found that the water became bitter as we encountered loved ones, as we encountered coworkers, the society in general, whatever it might be. We find that oftentimes that the waters are bitter. However, we also experience that as we bring those things to the Lord meets us and turns those bitter waters into sweet water, and can turn even the most sourest situation into something sweet. Not necessarily because the situation changed all the time, but because the Lord comes in his presence with his comfort, his consolation, and his strength, and can turn those situations around, if not externally, internally for us. And then we also come across those times when it's like Elim, where our circumstances are beautiful and wonderful. We're sitting underneath the 70 date palms and the 12 springs of water. And we're just living by the water. It's a beautiful, serene situation. And perhaps we can remember times in our lives where things were just going pretty good. We had it pretty good. But then eventually hunger sets in. Something happens, and before we know it, we find that the pleasant situation that we had is now gone away, and the world leaves us hungry again. Where once the world might seemingly have satisfied us through our circumstances, we now find that the situation has changed, and we find that the world cannot truly satisfy. And so we have to go to the Lord, and the Lord meets that hunger and satisfies us, not with bread that comes from the ground, but the bread that comes from heaven, that is Jesus Christ. And he becomes for us the bread of life that sustains us and strengthens us and keeps us going on our journey. And we could follow this all the way through their journeys there in the wilderness. Just time and time again, we see that what they experience mirrors what we experience spiritually. What they experience physically, we experience spiritually as we embark on this journey towards our promised land, into the heavenlies where God has promised us that we would go, and even beyond that to the new heavens and the new earth that is revealed to us in the book of Revelation. So as we read the story of this journey that they're going on, let's be thinking about our own journey and relating the things that they go through with our own experience. And where they get it right, let's follow that example. But where we see mostly they get it wrong, let's not follow their example, but learn from their mistakes so that we don't make the same mistakes. And we'll learn as we travel on this journey with them how individuals ought to relate to God and how they should not relate to God. And that will help us and inform us, again, as we embark on our own journey. So here's some things we can reflect on and think about as we do our reading today. With that, guys, I do thank you for watching the video today. Hope you guys have a great day. Love you guys. God bless.